All right, so here, earlier I was using rectangles to talk about similar figures, but it doesn't matter. As long as two figures have the same shape, you can set up a proportion. So it looks like those two triangles have the same shape. One's blown up compared to the other one. So here they're missing that bottom side. So if I set up a proportion that compares the bottom of each of these, the way they're oriented, to the left side, if they're the same shape, both triangles should have the same ratio. So on the little triangle, that would be x over 21. Sorry, those numbers are so hard to read. They're little. And on the other one, bottom is 64 and left is 56. Now, this is easy to solve when the missing number is in the top. All I do is multiply that 21 up. And on my calculator, I ask, what is 21 times 64 over 56? I would highly suggest when you have problems like these, always write your proportions of the missing numbers in the top because it's less work. When I first looked at this, I was going to say, well, let's let it be 21 over x equals 56 over 64. That'll work. I just have more work to do to get an answer. Because in this case right here, I would have to cross multiply both denominators, which would give me 21 times 64 equals 56 times x. And then I got to divide by the 56, right? Can you see where it's more work, but it still leads to the same answer? Okay, so again, whenever I can with a proportion, I like to write it with the missing number in the top, because then it's just pretty much one step to get the answer. But either way gives you the right answer, right? 21 times 64 over 56, 21 times 64 over 56, same answer either way, whatever my calculator thinks about that number. Now, next thing, let's calculate it and see if it makes sense in the picture, because it's easy to put things in the wrong spot. So calculator 21, oops, wrong spot, 21 times 64 over 56. Okay, my calculator says if you put the numbers in right, Gary, then that should be 24. You got that too? Cool. So now let's just look at a picture. Does 24 seem like a reasonable number looking at the two of them? Well, this one is 56 by 64, so the bottom's a little bigger than the left. And this one we're claiming is 21 by 24, and the bottom's a little bigger than the left, which seems like a reasonable amount bigger. I'll buy that. Yeah. So sometimes it's a good idea to then think about, does the calculation make sense in this situation? And here, if the pictures are drawn right, it looks like it makes sense. Boom, done.